Boom, Ever Onward Tribe. Uh, this month's Commander's Coffee is about breaking out of a rut. I intended this unbelievable event out in Boston. It's a pretty insular group. I'm not sure if they want me kind of promoting who it was, so I'm going to leave that for maybe another post if I kind of get the, I guess, guidance or thoughts for them that they're happy with me bringing up the name of it. But a bunch of entrepreneurs come together every year in Boston. They're, a very tight-knit group that spends a lot of time together, and over a 3-day period, they bring in a bunch of speakers to come talk about both entrepreneurship. They talk about their life stories. They talk about concepts or things that will add kind of juice and richness to the group. It was an absolute game changer event for me. I got brought in as a speaker. You can't really attend this event unless you're a speaker or a member of the organization. And I did not know what I was getting myself into. The level of kind of storytelling, concepts, experience that I got to immerse myself in and listen to really kind of shook me, frankly, in a good way. I felt very, very humbled and honored to be part of that group that was there. But it was a hugely impactful trip. And it made me think that I was in a bit of a rut, that one of the things that I'm probably not doing as well as I should is I'm often in front of the camera. I'm often creating content and delivering, hopefully messaging and concepts and ideas of value that hopefully go out to the tribe and go out to a greater audience, but that I probably need to be more purposeful about going to seek out some of that content. I find myself at a lot of speaking events, and I always pick up something, some lesson, some tidbit of value if I see another speaker or in the back and forth of those organizations. But specifically going to attend an event where I'm going to learn or move the needle on those things that might make me look at things in a new way is something that I realize I need to be doing more of. Ruts are one of those things that we all fall into, and that can be physical, it can be spiritual, it can be social, it can be mental. I mean, all these ruts are easy to fall into. I looked up, because I started thinking about this concept, the definition of a rut, and so I'm going to read it to you, and actually does very much highlight kind of what I wanted to share. But a rut is a habit or a pattern of behavior that has become dull and unproductive, but is hard to change. Dull and unproductive, but hard to change. That is dialed in a rut in my mind. And so the idea of breaking it, as best I can think, is actually very, very simple. It's just figuring out a way to break that pattern, to do something that alters that pattern in such a way that you'll find a new avenue. When I was in the SEAL teams, I played Division I sports, athletics my whole life, and there's no athlete that's listening to this that won't understand what I'm talking about when your gym routine was basically chest and tries, back and bis, shoulders and legs, repeat for the next 20, 30 years to be at peak level performance. And we've utterly changed that paradigm in the workout world. The one that jumped out to me is when I was early in my SEAL career, a teammate of mine that I'd been through basic training with, he had found CrossFit. This is before CrossFit had exploded on the national stage, and there are CrossFit boxes all over the country, and it was on ESPN as an actual competition because it's gotten so huge, but very early on. And it took me one workout, Fight Gone Bad, which is one of the famous horrific CrossFit workouts, to know that there was something very, very special, that in a shorter period of time, based on random programming of functional movement executed at high intensity, which is the pillar elemental piece of what CrossFit is, that I'd get a better workout, my body would be able to adapt to it, and I'd just be better for it. I've gotten away from it a little bit. I'm going to get back to it because I think that's going to help me get out of some physical ruts. Spiritual wise, I think, doing a new program at a church, if you go to church, maybe taking some mindfulness practice or some meditation or yoga, something that kind of breaks up your regular version of how you kind of handle the spiritual side of your life. Social, you might need to come up with a new way to get together with friends, a new way to relate to coworkers, teammates, leadership, followership, and all the things that go along with that. But I really just think it comes down to breaking up these patterns, shaking things up to get yourself out of a rut. I'm not going to dig in any further than that. I'm just going to commit myself to trying to pay attention a little bit to what my ruts might be, and then really figure out a way to disrupt that and get myself to a better place. I recommend you do the same. Ever onward.